Taun and Maria with you from the KSL Greenhouse. Today we wanted to talk about tree wrapping. First of all, Taun, what types of trees need to have their bark wrapped for the winter?
Well, any young tree, it really benefits from wrapping the trunk up with this white fabric tree tape. It doesn't have any sticky on it, but what we're doing is protecting the trunks from what's called southwest winter injury, or sometimes it's called winter sunscald. The sun will heat up the thin bark, and then the bark has sap flow in it during the day, and then that sap at night freezes, and because it's mostly water, it bursts the conductive tissue cells in the trunks, and it will make the bark slough off, and eventually on the south and west sides of the tree you oftentimes will see the bare wood underneath where the bark has been killed from the winter sun.
It's really an interesting product, though, that helps protect the tree but yet not suffocate the tree.
Yes, it's made by a
holes
company, and there's a few out there. This is DeWitt. You can use any brand, but it's made by a company that makes fabric for geoengineering, so like drains, but also sometimes people will use this for a ground cloth under gravel and things for weed prevention. That's a video for another time, but we don't recommend doing that usually, but it's very useful for wrapping trunks.
Okay, show us how to do this.
So we've pre-measured a width here, and all I'm going to do is you can start from the bottom or top, and I'm just going to knot it at the bottom toward as low as I can reasonably get, and we'll do that one more time. So now that I've got it on there, it's pretty much just wrapping the tree up like a candy cane. And it's going to be a little longer at first. You can do it from the roll and just wrap the roll around, but it sometimes loosens, and both times getting them started can be a little challenging, but once you get going, it becomes a lot easier.
But is it important to have complete coverage?
It is. You don't want gaps. Now, this will not protect the trees from voles or rabbits, anything like that, but it's just mainly for sun protection. The advantage to doing this, not only for the direct protection from the sun, but it also will prevent injury, which then makes the trees less susceptible to pests and diseases, because especially insect pests will hone in on trees that are injured, and because the tree puts off certain pheromones. And so if you can prevent this, or prevent the injury with this kind of a wrap, it will prevent a lot of pests from getting in. So peach trees, you know, the greater peach tree borer looks for injured trees first, and so this can be a great help for that. And then, but any other tree. And so this is a little more common on fruit trees, and I could go a little higher, but I'm just going to tie that off, and we can put a little more on. But this is a great help for multiple reasons.
Now, when do they put this on, and how long do they keep it on the tree?
It goes on in late October or November, early November, and then you would take it off in late March.
And again, the main trees that you would put this on would be?
Any new trees. So lindens and maples, pears, flowering cherries, any fruit trees. Did I say maples already? Mm-hmm. So, but any of these that have this thin bark, until they start developing that darker, corky bark that you see on old trees, they need to be wrapped.
Yeah, we know trees are quite an investment these days, so you want to make sure that you're protecting your investment.
You really do, because trees in the last 10 years have doubled in price, and to put $300 or $400 into one tree this size, and then have the west or south sun get the bark and not outright kill it, but weaken it, so it makes it susceptible to other things, you may as well spend $7 or $8 to protect your investment.
Does it matter which side of the house the tree's on?
Well, right here, we are protected from the south sun, but by afternoon, the sun swings around to the west, and this side of the tree is exposed. And so I would wrap any tree, even if it's partially protected from the sun.
All right. Anything you'd like to add?
Just do it, and you can save these and just put them in a box, and they'll last for 2 or 3 years if you want to. The rolls aren't that expensive, but it's just something that, especially on brand new trees, it's just wise to do.
All right. Thanks for being with us, and join us on Saturday mornings from 8 to 11 for the KSL Greenhouse.